Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, a story called The Sprinkled Search began. Kiki the candy corn unicorn loved to race. Zoom! She zoomed through the fluffy pink cotton candy clouds, her mane streaming behind her like a rainbow. Her hooves barely touched the clouds as she flew towards the sparkling ruins. These ruins were very old and very sparkly, with giant lollipop trees and bridges made of rainbow. Kiki's horn could turn anything into candy for 1 whole hour, and when she ran, she left a trail of yummy sprinkles everywhere. Whee! Kiki shouted, as she flew past a chocolate waterfall and a field of gummy bears. Suddenly, Kiki heard a faint meow coming from inside the ruins. What's that? She wondered, slowing down. As she landed, she saw a little girl with a sparkly crown. Hello, Kiki said. My name is Kiki. The little girl looked sad. I'm Princess Azal, she sniffled. And I lost my shoes. And my bag. Princess Azal's eyes were as sparkly as her crown. Oh no, said Kiki. I'm very sorry. Azal's bag had her puppy's favorite treats inside. We can find them. Kiki said, I'm very good at finding things. I'll leave a trail of sprinkles, and we can follow it. And so, Kiki started to gallop. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. A colorful trail led them deeper into the sparkling ruins. Princess Azal held her breath. Are you scared? Kiki asked kindly. Azal nodded. It's okay, Kiki said. I'll be right here with you. Kiki's mane smelled like strawberry cotton candy, and she let Princess Azal take a little sniff to calm her down. They reached a pond filled with giggling, bubbly fish. Look, said Kiki, a clue. There was a shiny golden fish swimming which held a sparkling note that read, Follow the candy, where the trees are grand, to find the first piece, with a sprinkle in hand. They continued to follow the trail of sprinkles, and Kiki and Azal passed by a large, candy-covered puzzle. Wow, said Azal, let's keep going. Kiki and Princess Azal kept following the sprinkles, and the trail led them to a maze of lollipop trees. The trees were all different flavors, from cherry to banana. Inside the maze they found a series of riddles written on giant candy hearts. Each riddle gave them a clue to find the missing items. The first riddle was, I'm yellow and white, a sweet treat, a yummy delight, it's a candy corn, shouted Azal. Kiki smiled, you're right. And then, as they solved the riddle, a tiny candy corn appeared, pointing them further into the maze. The deeper they went, the more adventurous their journey became. They had to jump over a sticky caramel river and dodge chocolate waterfalls. Suddenly, in the distance, they saw something very fast, but it quickly disappeared. Did you see that? Azal asked. But it was gone. Kiki and Azal had to use all of their strengths to continue. Princess Azal was very brave, and Kiki could turn anything into candy, even the difficult parts of the maze. At the fish pond, they looked for something sparkly. It was a sparkly fish. Then the next clue led them to a very big candy bag. Finally, they reached the center of the ruins. Look! Shouted Azal. There was a hidden chamber. Inside, they found the missing shoes, bag, and puppy treats. Yay! Azal cried. But who took them? Just then, a tiny sugar plum fairy fluttered in. She had a mischievous grin. It was me, she said. I needed treats for my puppy. She looked a bit embarrassed. And, I may have borrowed your shoes and bag. Oh, said Azal, and her eyes were filled with questions. I'm sorry, said the sugar plum fairy. I will give them back. Kiki giggled. Then, she waved her horn, and poof, the chamber turned into a giant candy playground. There were swings made of licorice, slides made of gummy worms, and a big bouncy castle made of marshmallows. The sugar plum fairy's puppy, who was very fluffy and white, started playing with Azal. The puppy was thrilled, especially when it saw the treats that Azal had brought. Kiki shared some cotton candy from her mane. It tastes like bubble gum, said the puppy, happily munching on the candy. Azal found something special too. A mini crown for her puppy. They were all friends. The sugar plum fairy smiled. I'm sorry for taking your things, she said. I learned that it's always better to ask for help, and to be honest, and Azal knew that the Sugar Plum Fairy was right. And when it was time to go home, they all felt happy. They said goodbye to the Sugar Plum Fairy and her puppy, who promised to visit again soon. Kiki and Azal left the sparkling ruins, hand in hand, the trail of sprinkles disappearing behind them. Azal's shoes were back on her feet, her bag was safely in her hands, and her puppy would have treats for a long time. And Kiki, with her rainbow mane and candy corn horn, knew that friendship, bravery and sharing make everything sweeter. Let's see what a great listener you are. Can you answer the following question? What did Kiki and Princess Azal follow to find the missing items? Let's see how you did. The answer is, they followed a trail of sprinkles. You did a great job. Thank you for listening to Storypie. I hope to see you again soon.